My name is Allie Clifton, Richard Jefferson, and a commander. Who's that? Now because you're trying to eat, Channing, you're muted and we can't hear you.
Oh man, I ran out of basketball names, so I had to switch to football names. So if like,
Speaking of football,
Whoa.
let's dive right into it.
She jumped into
You guys
that
already
saying.
know this is head first. You guys already know this was coming because I gave you a heads up this morning on the phone call. In the state of the wonderful, incredible, iconic, as Richard likes to describe him, Deion Sanders in all of his glory right now, I came across he being on the Rich Eisen show, to which he was ranking his children.
yeah,
I need to know, can you guys rank your children?
right now today, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, that's not even.
Oh, so you guys aren't
question.
those kinds of parents that care about what your children's feelings are.
Well, is the world going to care about what their feelings are? like lessons are best learned in the house, right?
Okay,
Like,
give them to me then, please. Rank
What do
your
you mean?
children and why.
based off what? But there's criteria. It changes. Like my number one child rotates about 8 times over the course of the day.
Oh, for sure.
As they get older, like Dion's kids are, because my kids are 6 and 8. One might write on the wall, and I don't like him very much today. And then the next one might throw something and make his other brother cry. Then I don't like him. So it's just a rotating kind of like chart and graph. When they get
so
older, they're more
107
stable.
107 p.m., 108 p.m. on a Tuesday. Who is your favorite?
Oh, today, I'm going to say Lil Rich was my favorite today. Yesterday it was Phoenix. Yeah,
Okay.
so it just rotates. And I only have 2, so it's tough because it's one or the other. It's one or the other based off the day, or I can tell them I both don't like them, or I tell them it's a tie, right? Like sometimes you can see a heavyweight battle, heavyweight fight, and it ends in a draw. A lot of days it's a draw.
We don't settle for participation ribbons over here.
That's
Channing,
not participation.
rank
Oh,
up.
dude, easy. Roxy, number 3, the smallest. This little
Peanut.
fucker is an angel. She listens. She puts her ball. All I ask, right? So Hendrix will be 13, Margot's 11, Roxy 7, Lennox is 5. Roxy, the smallest one, can barely fit over the sink to put her bowl in there, gets a stool, washes the bowl out like we asked her one time, and puts it in the dishwasher. Lennox throws it over there, if it even goes. Hendrix and Margot leave everything. If they make pancakes, so Roxy 1, I'm going to say Hendrix 2 right now, Margot 3, Lennox 4.
What did Lennox do? She did some
Lennox
bullshit.
is the rebel child.
Yeah, Lennox did some
There was a dead squirrel near our house because we have a cat, right? And maybe it got hit. Lennox gets a stick and is flinging this dead squirrel. I'm like, what the fuck? Here are things that I have had to tell Lennox this year alone. Lennox, don't put gravel in your mouth. Lennox, don't eat like I was going to de-algae my pond. And I was like, Lennox, you can't stick your tongue on the algae powder. Lennox, don't spit on the dead bird. Lennox, don't eat food off of other people's plate as she's leaving a restaurant. Like, she don't give a fuck. And I'm just like, I don't have time to pay attention to you because you're oblivious to the world. She just like, what's this? Blink. I'm like, absolutely not. Also, she comes in our bed every single night. And we have a custom 10 by 10 bed. Imagine my knees are over the edge of the bed because she operates as a doorstop. So I'm like this. I can't turn over unless I fully just fall off my own damn custom made bed. Margot is 11, turning on 14,
Love
right?
it.
Wants to argue with me about what she's wearing every day. I just said be temperature appropriate. Be temperature appropriate. It's barely 71 here. Her friends are wearing sweatpants and a big hoodie. She got shorts on and a tank top. And I'm like, girl, okay, be cool. And then Hendrick, he's starting to get a little better. He's starting football this year. And so the reason why he's not number 1 is just because he hasn't got his first tackle yet. But they don't really come to his side, so that's why. As soon as he gets a tackle, he goes to number 1.
That is the ultimate
Yeah.
breakdown.
Well,
I love
Pretty
that.
good. Pretty good.
Are you nervous about football
No.
for your kid? No.
No.
No,
you
why
saw
listen?
them
Why
move,
listen? Why listen to the science?
No. If you saw them move, this is not Louisiana or Florida. Like, they ain't moving that fast. This is 7th grade football. When we start getting into 9th grade, okay, now I'm a little worried. But they just go grab each other like this, and then they do a dance. So like, where's the ball? And the kid just, they never go full speed at each other. They both go chicken. Oh God, it's funny. It's funny.
Chicken. Oh my God. Okay. We are still in the off season, and the season is around the corner. So we're gonna continue some truth or trash, but we also added a truth or trash NBA conspiracy theories edition.
Here we go.
Let's go.
So we're gonna start off there, and we will begin with Jordan pushed off on Byron Russell. I went on a deep dive.
No.
This.
The answer is yes.
Truth or
He
trash?
pushed. Yes, he pushed off. But do you make that call? Not even talking about Michael Jordan. If that was Kobe, if that was Bron, if this is the NBA Finals, you don't make that call.
Yeah,
Like Russell he was in such bad body position that snapback. He's lucky. That was in '98. If a player were to hit him with a snapback right now, and then a go. Oh, Byron might still be on the floor. So no, that's not a push off in my opinion. You don't call that.
No, we're not calling.
Okay, so that's trash. Okay.
Trash.
Truth or trash, Dwyane Wade earned all of those free throws against the Mavs in the 2006 NBA Finals. Do you guys remember how many free throws he shot?
I don't remember the number.
23 or something like that?
97 total.
Over the series, over the
6-game series.
Over the series.
25 alone in game 5, to which the Mavericks shot 25 as a team.
Some of that's skewed because he was the guy that was like, so at the end of the game when you're fouling, you get another 6 free throws because they get the ball in your hands, they foul, you got to make your free throws. So I would say
97 though over the course of a series is insane.
But hear me out.
But he was insane.
It was Shaq. Shaq might not have been a double team still, but you still needed 2 bodies on Shaq, and that's when D Wade was the Flash. So they didn't have they didn't have anyone to guard him. That's why he won Finals MVP, because they couldn't guard him. It wasn't just free throws, and you got to still make them. And he's not a 90. It's not like they gave Steph 25 free throws. I want to say he's probably in the high 70s, low 80s. So he still got to not knock him down. It was impressive.
Yeah. So that he definitely truth. He was moving different. He earned those. It was just like, who are you going to put on him? And also, you got to think the Mavericks were shooting a lot of jumpers. They were getting jumpers or dunks.
Yeah, like they weren't an attack downhill team at the time. They were a somewhat finesse scoring team. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Steph, truth or trash, Steph's first ever ejection in Game 6 of the 2016 NBA Finals was for ratings.
What? No. Who said this?
Not Janet. Don't engage. Don't engage. Next question.
No, please engage. Please give me the answer.
We're
playing this game.
No, it's not right. It's not, no. What I'm saying is, it's not for ratings, and anybody that says that doesn't understand basketball.
Dude, it was literally.
He threw a mouthpiece at someone. He threw a mouthpiece at someone. You don't do
not at someone.
At the owner's son.
He threw it at Catherine Love.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah. She's gonna be mad.
Thanks for giving me the attention I wanted on that one. Truth or trash, I have been a part of an NBA game that was rigged by the refs.
False.
For sure, Richard. You played Richard.
I'm saying that I know of.
Oh no. We're just saying in your career. I think in a game where something is, hey, the spread might be 9, and they took the over, and they're just calling fouls that aren't fouls at the end of the game. That is what I'm saying. I think that happened.
I don't know that. But I'm saying, call me old school. If we lost the game, we deserve to lose. If we won the game, we deserve to win.
Totally. Richard, that's not what she's saying.
She's saying that the referee
Listen,
she's saying that the referee messed up a game.
I'm not saying good referees. There is one referee that I think ref for you and for me over our course of our career.
Oh, he refereed my first game ever. He refereed
Oh,
my
he
first
did
game
it.
ever.
He did it.
Anyways,
Richard,
next.
you can no. We're going to dive in on this because
Thank you.
we're not talking about winning or losing. We're talking about the point spread. So let's say he's like,
I can't speak on that. I can't speak on that. I don't know what the point spread were for my 1,100 games that I played in.
Channing, please continue.
the probability of it happening where it really might not have been anything. It might have been an extra 100 grand or something like that, 200 grand that doesn't get noticed by Vegas by 3 or 4 people. I could see that happening a lot. 3 or 4 people put 30, 40, 50 grand on a game. They're like, we need the over. You get the foul trouble in the first half. You get the star guy in foul trouble, and now it's just a random blowout where it's like you're playing Utah at home, who leads the league in fouls, but all of a sudden they don't get any fouls called on them. You get blown out. You go, oh, it's a back-to-back. We're tired. They don't care anyways. But really, it was because of the point spread. I can see that happening.
I could too. I liked that. All right. Truth or trash, the Ewing envelope was frozen.
Frozen as in like cold and frozen so you could tell which one. Then let me say this. Back then, I don't know. Now, I don't think it could happen. I don't think any of that. But I will say this. You have to understand. Back then, you might have been able to happen. There might have been less eyeballs. But the way I see it is more of there are other billionaire owners that are involved in this. The NBA is not going to just screw over 28 other billionaires to get Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. Like it's just like you're jeopardizing the entire league. The lawsuits, the BS, the commissioner would be gone. So those conspiracy theories I don't really buy into because of just
did it happen though? Can you believe it that it happened?
I could
then?
see
It's not about today. It's about then.
Then I could see why people might believe that could happen in that moment. I am not a conspiracy theorist.
For people who don't know, explain the envelope.
Oh, so basically what happened is
that it was cold.
It was cold. That's how. So the Knicks. So Patrick Ewing was Wembanyama when he came out in '86. Like he was that guy. He's like one of the best players in the world. Never seen anything like him. One of the great college players of all time. And the Knicks get the number 1 pick, and I think they had a very, very low chance of getting it. Barely was similar to when San Antonio got the Tim Duncan pick. So they're saying when they went to go pull the envelopes, they had frozen the Knick envelope, so you knew what envelope was the cold, so you could touch it. So that's what it is. I don't believe that. I feel like that's a bit far fetched. But
if you don't know what we're talking about, Vince Carter does a video with Patrick Ewing, and he says, "Can you pick the frozen envelope out of the wheel?" And so there is a cold one, and Patrick reaches in and he grabbed the envelope, basically saying this is possible and it could happen. And it
honestly
did happen.
I wouldn't even be mad if it was. It's good for business. It's good for business. How about this? And I don't think this happened, but we talked about this about Wembanyama going to San Antonio. You have a $500 million player. You are not going to put him in Charlotte or in Detroit. You are going to put him with the greatest coach of all time if you have the opportunity. Now, chance is chance.
So you think something was rigged this year?
He could not have gone anywhere. That guy could not have gone anywhere. Like Tim Duncan, I wouldn't say had to go to San Antonio, but like that was the best situation for him. This, I think, is the best situation. It doesn't happen very often. It happened with LeBron. It happened with Wemby. It happened with Tim Duncan. It didn't happen with Richard, obviously, because they traded him.
Well, this is the thing. It does I can see why people are conspiracy. New Orleans, they lose Anthony Davis and they get Zion, right? The Cavs lose LeBron and they get like 4 number 1 picks following up, right? So it's just like you see these things happen, but I'm not, like I said, not a conspiracy theorist.
It is fun. I don't think it happens, but I do think it's fun.
I was going to say, Richard's really struggling with this segment. Truth or trash, Chris Paul should have been a Laker.
False.
Ooh.
That's false. And let me explain to why. At the time, people that don't understand what happens, because the New Orleans Pelicans didn't have an owner, they were like purchased by the league, quote unquote. So the league was running the Pelicans. So then when this trade happened, and there were some mistakes that happened on when you're allowed to talk and make offers. So when this trade happened, it was the equivalent to the NBA making the trade to send Chris Paul to the Lakers. And that's where all the owners got upset. Very similar to how rigging like a draft was. They were like, wait a second, we should all have a vote in where one of the top 10 players in the league go. You don't just get to send them to LA. And that's what killed it. And yeah, it's all drama. But there was a legitimate reason why. It was like, it was in a very awkward position. And then you try and send one of the players. Yes, other teams should have stepped up and been like, yo, what the fuck?
I was actually glad he didn't go to the Lakers. I know
everyone was.
They still won. You traded Marc Gasol for Pau Gasol at the time. And I would say, dude, Marc Gasol's good, but he wasn't Pau Gasol at the time. So, like, for that trade to go through was crazy. You got big-ass Andrew Bynum, Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, Trevor Ariza, Kobe, Derek Fisher. Come on. That's a stacked team. Like, people sleep on how good that fucking team was. They were nice. Nice. But, no, we should not have gone to the Lakers.
Last two, Jordan-based. Jordan's flu game was a hangover.
Facts. It wasn't Facts. Flu. We know it wasn't the flu. We know it wasn't a flu.
We know it wasn't flu because they said he had food poisoning from pizza. Hey, do you remember when
he the only one ate pizza? Only one ever. Wait, only one had one bite.
You remember one of our teammates got sick from pasta? From noodles?
Oh, that is one of the best stories you guys have ever told. In the car?
Hennessy noodles?
I forgot Kay Felder, the Hennessy.
So a teammate of ours comes on the
plane. Please retell this.
So we're in New York, and a teammate of ours, now obviously we're grown men. People go out after a game, libations, having a good time.
Hang on. Can I actually add the substance to the story? Because you guys just didn't go out in New York. You played a freaking day game in Philly and all got on a freaking train because you're crazy and went to New York and still had to be back in Philly to make a flight to Milwaukee. Like, the story.
This is why I don't gamble, because anybody should have taken the under on us in that Milwaukee game. To show you how out of sorts we were, everyone. That's the game, and the internet fact checkers. The game that we went to Milwaukee, that was the game where JR went and dapped up Jason Terry in the middle of the game, and then they went and scored. We were all over the place. We had no business playing a game the next day. But yeah, to give the last context, we had a 12 o'clock game or 2 o'clock game in Philly, and we were done at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever time it was. So we had all day and all night. We're like, oh, why don't we just catch the train down there? We can be in New York at 7, have dinner, have some drinks, and come back. But ultimately, there was an accident on the track. Someone decided that they no longer wanted to be a part of this universe, and so we got stuck on the train for like 3 extra hours waiting for this, because then they put us on another train and got us going. Like, remember they got us off.
I wasn't there.
Oh yeah,
2 different stories. I wasn't there. Yeah. I was at funeral. Let's come back.
Yes, you were. Yeah, you weren't. Oh, so you were talking about
twice.
Kay got sick twice. Who are you talking about with the Hennessy noodles?
Remember when Shump was on the plane?
I was talking about Kay Felder throwing up in the back of the car.
Story. I wasn't there.
And you just see noodles.
Okay, can we hear both of them, please? That is sick.
Keep going. So you're on the train to Philly.
So we're on the train, and then we get to, but we don't. So we miss dinner at Carbone. We don't get there till like 10:30. Everyone's kind of grumpy. The moment's been missed. But we get there, Kevin's people took care of us. We eat a bunch. Then we get in the car. Now we're going ham. We're just like, hey guys, we got 4 hours. The car is going to be out front in 3:30. Let's go. So we all get drunk, right? We're all having a good time. So we get in the car. They're like, hey guys, the first round of cars are there. So it's me, Braun, Kay, maybe Swish or Tristan. I don't remember.
Noodles.
Let's say Tristan, just to clear his name. So keep him in good standing.
Wasn't Kevin with you?
Kevin. So we're driving.
Ian
I'm in,
Ramos?
I'm in the backseat of this Sprinter van. And all of a sudden, me and Ramos are looking over at Kay like, "Hey, you okay, bro?" It's like 5 a.m. Kay's like, "Man, I don't feel good." So now it's dead of winter. It's probably 10 degrees outside. He starts throwing up all over the place in this Sprinter van. I feel like he throws up on Kevin. Because he leans to me. I push and give him a forearm shiver. So he goes down and goes forward. But this is the thing. This is the best part. Braun goes to the driver. He goes, "Keep going."
Oh,
Braun, man, you hear this commotion in the back seat. I'm like, "Oh shit, he's throwing up." Braun goes like this with a straight face. "Keep going." So at this point in time, we're driving. We still got 30 minutes. We're on the highway. You're trying to roll down the windows, but it's frigid air flying in. So you're in between like dying to death from cold and smelling throw up hungover at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we have to drive like the last 20 minutes with throw up in the car, throw up all over. Sorry, Kay, we love you. Throw up all over our rookie. This is what you do to rookies. Throw up all over him. And I'm in the backseat. All of a sudden, Kevin's got throw up on him. He's starting to get sick. And Braun, straight face. In the shotgun. He's in the shotgun like, "Keep going." So we get there, and it was just like, they were like, dude was so mad because he obviously, I think we tipped him like, a few $100 extra and like, "Hey, bro, we know. We understand our young guy got sick." But, bro, to hear
What
Braun
happened to all your clothes?
oh,
my clothes were fine. His clothes were, and Kevin, they might have threw it up. I don't know. And Kev got the nice clothes. He had that like Ralph Lauren baby seal calf, like brown jacket that's like one made. So, that shit was expensive. Yeah, no, that was a bad idea for us from the beginning to do that trip. And then JR, just to confirm it, goes and daps up JT.
mine isn't as funny as that, but it was like the year before we had gone out in New York. We had ate, or like we met up, and this is when I think he first got married to Tiana. So he was like hot, well, as he is now, hot in the streets. And he was on his own section of the club partying. So we have like a meet, like the plane the next day, and Shump has a big old trash bag, and his face is just in the trash bag. So I'm like, "Damn, Shump, what happened?" He goes, "Yeah, Shump had some bad noodles." And I was like, "What'd you have, some Hennessy noodles?" And I'm talking to Shump, and I didn't know that everyone was listening. And so, dude, we were just crying, laughing. Everyone's been sick on a plane once. Everybody's been sick on a plane once.
Ooh, really?
I don't think I've ever been sick on the plane. I've been hungover. I've struggled.
Yeah, struggled.
I've struggled.
I've never thrown up on a plane, but I have literally been sweating. We had a plane the day after New Year's, so on the 1st, and I was like this.
Oh, I ate a bad edible. On a plane. And when I mean bad edible, it's like, "Oh, is this 5 milligram?" Or, "Oh, no, it's 500. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
God.
No, it wasn't 500. But I'm saying that's what, when you have everybody that's been in that moment where, yeah, I've had that moment on a commercial airliner. That's not fun. Going on my way to Summer League. It wasn't fun. Not recently, like in 2005.
Hey, Road Trippers, our next partner has a product we're personally using every day. We're all taking athletic greens because we want more energy, better immune systems, and we all got tired of taking pills and vitamins. Want to see what the hype is all about? It's obvious. Every scoop of AG1 tastes great and helps us to feel our best in the morning. We have a peace of mind knowing that we're beginning every day with 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and even probiotics. So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your own health. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/road trippin and take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Again, go to athleticgreens.com/road trippin and get started today. All right, last one. Michael Jordan. Yes, Michael Jordan just wanted to try baseball during his prime.
I think he did. I 100% think he did. I think Michael Jordan, when you lose your father and that shit happens, and it's like he's like, dude, basketball's boring. I want to go try this out. I'm gonna take a break. And look, if anybody thinks that the rules don't the rules apply the same for normal human beings as they do for guys like LeBron James and Michael Jordan, that's your fault. So if Michael Jordan wants to go play, if LeBron James said he wanted to stop and go play baseball right now, they would put him on a roster somewhere. Not a major league roster, but they would put him in a position and let him try and do it. That's just the fact.
If he said, you know what, these next few years, and obviously not after last week, this, Monday Night Football or whatnot, prayers up to Nick Chubb. But if he wanted to play tight end for football, you don't think all 30 teams would give him a tryout? Stop it. Stop. What? 6'9" running like that? 6'9",
Okay.
275? Hell no.
If you guys got a chance to play another sport like that, say you were that gift, what would your sport be?
Oh, fishing.
If I was that good, I actively chose to make basketball my primary focus, but given my athletic ability, size, hand-eye coordination, footwork, I don't think that there's a sport on the planet that I couldn't at least be well above average. Not great, but well above average. Maybe a jockey. If you asked me to be a jockey, I probably couldn't do that.
Richard
what are
would
the three?
stink at baseball. 1, stink.
But false.
I'm going
false.
Pickleball, fishing, shuffleboard.
I'm a firm believer that if I were to play any sport, that I would at least be professional level.
No, what is wrong with you?
I'm being serious.
You do not believe that.
Wait, 100%. I believe that. No. Soccer, yes. I'm 6'7". There's not a lot of them walking around. But any sport like football, baseball, any of those sports, if I would have played
hockey,
if I would have grew up playing hockey, 100%. If I grew up playing hockey, 100%. But there's no doubt in my brain.
That's a 6'10". You're like Popeye Jones's sons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, look, all I'm saying is that there's certain athletic abilities that translate, right? Now, if you start playing a game at 8 years old, 9 years old, and you're playing hockey or you're playing baseball, you're playing football, yes, then you learn those skills, and then it typically goes into who is the most athletic, fastest, strongest with the skills from the sport. And I'm sorry, there's not a gene pool that you're going to put me in that I would not be one of those people if I played that sport since I was 8. And I'm not the only motherfucker like that. I'm not like that. But I'm saying that, if you put you, Allie, in softball, if you put you in volleyball, and that was your main focus, are you going to tell me you couldn't have been a Division I player if you played any one of those 3 full time as a kid?
Division I player versus a professional athlete is
we're talking about Division I. We're talking about you now. We're talking about you.
I could do every sport.
That's what
I could even be a jockey.
But as I'm saying, if someone said, Allie, think back in your life, if you would have only played volleyball from 7 years old and you were 5'10", if you would have only played volleyball from 7 years old, do you think you would have been a Division I athlete in volleyball?
Yes.
If you would have only played softball from age...
Okay, yes, I got it. You have great belief in yourself, and you're very humble at it. I have great belief.
I have great belief in y'all. I have great belief in you. See, you're a 3-sport Division I athlete just off of our conversation. Congratulations.
If we all could think that way. All right, let me get your thoughts on this. Let's go to some serious chatter now. We're going to mix it up. The Warriors are bringing in Dwight Howard this week. Would he be a good fit in San Francisco? By the way, shout out. He gave us a shout out. Road Trippin, the podcast. He loved the conversation and y'all's take about him versus Wemby. with Jameer Nelson. So he
Oh, I did
reposted it. Channing sent that our way. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Dwight's my guy.
Yeah. We
Um,
appreciate it.
I think yes, they would benefit from Dwight Howard, 100%. I think you worry about Dwight in a locker room, but we know who the alpha is. We also know who's the second alpha. We also know who's the third alpha. And if I would say that, it would be Draymond is the number one alpha. Then I would say Steph, and then I would say Steve. So when you look at that trifecta of three people running a locker room, I think that that is as good as you have seen in the last 25 years in the NBA, where a coach that has an infallible record, a superstar that has an infallible record, and then your goon that makes sure everyone stays in line in Draymond. So when I say you bring him into that locker room, I don't worry about any of that stuff other than Steve Kerr saying, Dwight, you might play, you might not play. You might play 10 minutes, you might play 20 minutes. Do you accept that role? And I don't see a situation in which Dwight Howard steps out of line. He didn't step out of line with the Lakers.
I was going to say he showed that in 2020. Correct.
Yeah. I think they just need big bodies, right? Like, who does Kevon Looney practice against? Like, who does the first team play against? So I think this league, again, more teams are going to have to bolster their big men. And if you can have a Hall of Fame big man on your bench ready to play whenever who's won a chip, that's just an extra. The best chefs have all the ingredients in their fridge, and whether they use it that night or not, doesn't matter. They're going to make the best meal for what they have, right? So for them to go, you know what, tonight we're going to make something out of oregano, and we don't usually do that, then we do that. But that's what I'm saying with Dwight. Like, to have him available is just another option for a really good coach.
All right, this was interesting. Willie Cauley-Stein says that he's going to play in Europe because he says it's a more tactical way of playing. Serge Ibaka just signed with Real Madrid. Do you guys ever see a day where European or Asian leagues can sign all-star caliber players in their prime?
The Saudis, they're the only ones. There's
Because
one.
of the money.
The money. That's the only one. And the NBA, but I think the NBA is in a good space. But if they start losing stars, then you have an issue. But I don't know what that situation is. But
Living in Saudi Arabia is different than living in America.
Yeah, all right. Give me that 50 million. Give me that 100 million. You tell me, Channing, if you tell me that
Messi turned down $1 billion.
Agreed, but Messi also has $1 billion.
Like, do you guys see his home? Oh my God.
LeBron can turn down $1 billion from the Saudis, but would LeBron turn down $2 billion from the Saudis? I don't think so. Our guy's gonna go play basketball.
Okay, wait. So what were you saying about Willie Cauley-Stein before I continue that? Saying it's a more tactical.
It is a more tactical league, and go have fun there, but it's not the best league in the world. That's the end of the conversation. No, I'm just...
Okay, moving on. We've been talking about the 2024 U.S. Men's Olympic... I'm sorry?
Matt Brazzi coached that team last year. That's like third rank Italian team. So, like, if he wants to talk about tactical, he would have went to one of the teams like Serge Ibaka plays on, or Rudy Fernandez in Spain, or like one of those teams. But like, Willie Cauley-Stein has had a lot of opportunities to figure out how to play in the NBA. Like, to just he's not. It doesn't make any sense to me. To be
a 29-year-old 7-footer, not in the NBA. What does that say?
With bounce,
and athletic.
By looking at him, you'd be like, holy crap, shoulders, arms, hands, bounce and run.
All right, I'm going to go truth or trash. These are just regular, not conspiracy theories. Luka Doncic will make all NBA this season, sign a supermax, and become the league's first $70 million man. Truth or trash?
That's a great
I say trash. I think there's going to be a race to New York or Miami in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm curious, is Giannis, Jokic... Not Giannis, Embiid, Luka. I think there's guys that are plotting, maybe not together, maybe individually, but unless Dallas makes a big jump. Yeah, unless Dallas makes a big jump.
I think down $70 million?
Well, when you're 25, when you're Luka's different. You don't want to turn down $70 million when you're James Harden and you're 31. If you're Luka and you're 25, you're going to get that.
But hasn't Luka kind of made it known that he doesn't want to play for this ridiculous amount? Remember when they were asked about,
he's gonna take
LeBron, and he talked about,
No. Because
it's agent's money. That's his agent's money too.
Right. Here's the problem. Luka can turn down 20 million, go to New York, and make that money back 3 times. Luka in New York is something different. Luka is getting 70 because what he can get from Dallas, the city, is maxed out. When he goes to New York for 40 or 50, the team can still be good. He's going to be on TV, MSG, the Garden. It's different. It is different. I can see him. Also, his team can't be good if he's making 70 million. We've seen that.
That's what happens when they're too top. They're too top heavy. They're like, oh, now you can't trade these 70 million players, and Dame Lillard is going to be making 65. I'm not pocket watching. I think players should get the most, but if you have structured the CBA that the top level gets so much that they become immovable, even when they're good into great players left on their contract, like, oh, he's going to make 60 million when he's 34 years old. And it's like, yeah, but there's going to be 70 million players by that time. In 4 years, there's going to be $70 million players. So like in 10 years, there will be $100 million player a year. Absorb that. Just absorb it. That's what, like, I remember when 20 was the number. I remember when the first person hit 30. I remember when we saw 40. I remember when we saw 50, 60. It's going up so fast. And that money hasn't even hit. We will see $100 million player in the next NBA deal that's going to be signed in 2 years because all of that money goes to the players.
Who's that going to be? I was just going to ask.
No. I think because you got to be the all NBAs, you got to be all this stuff. I think it's a guy like Luka. It's a guy like Luka or someone in that young tier that's 23, 24 right now that's already on a max deal. And then because remember Tatum? There was Tatum, Jaylen Brown hits it before him every single year. That's the thing. Remember there was a big thing where Mike Conley was the league's highest paid player for a season. And he had never been an all-star just because of when you come up, your team giving you that max dollar and the things that you have hit. Yeah, it's going to be somebody that has hit all of the milestones and is only like 27, 28 years old in 4 years. And that leaves a few guys. Like, with all due respect, Ja Morant's one of those guys. If he cleans up, if he doesn't keep making mistakes, Ja Morant at 23 right now, 24, if in 6 years he's 29 years old and he's still a top 5 player, he's going to be that guy that hits that deal.
Think about that.
Damn.
Anthony Davis still capable?
No, because I think if he's injury prone in his 20s, people aren't going to be like skeptical to give him that type of money in his 30s. Remember how Chris Paul and Bron got that late? That's what you need.
All right, guys, interesting take there on Luka Doncic. From one West Star to the next, we're going to dive into Steph Curry, NBA Jam, and a whole lot more Truth or Trash on an episode of Road Trippin' later this week. But for now, that's another edition of Road Trippin'.